What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our Kings-related podcast, wherever you may be, in this post-game recap of the Kings and the San Antonio Spurs. But first, thank you as always for joining me for another edition of the show. If you enjoy this podcast, make sure you give us a follow over on Apple Podcasts or whatever your favorite podcast app is. And if you're watching over on YouTube, please hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. The streak is now the legal age to drive. That is right. The Sacramento Kings just lost a 16th straight game tonight, adding to the franchise record for most consecutive losses. At 12-46, the Kings own a 3.5 game cushion over Indiana for the worst record in the NBA and are on pace to finish this season 17-65. And tonight, Sacramento is the 58th team in NBA history to lose 16 plus games in a row. They fall to San Antonio 139-122 tonight, playing in Austin, Texas. I thought the energy was great by Sacramento all the way around. The Kings did not start the game pretty tonight as they got down early 11-0, and then they were down 25-10, down by 15. They did come back in that first quarter after being down early. Made a rally, trailed after the first 12 minutes, 35-31. After the first, Keegan Murray had 11 points. DeRozan had 6 points and 4 points each for Max and Malik Monk after that first quarter, which wasn't pretty. And this game had a weird feeling, because if you look at the final score, which is not great because you gave up 139 points, you lose 16th game in a row. But I think this game felt different than the previous three. But from the end of that third quarter, it was the final 90 seconds of that third quarter against San Antonio. This was a 4-point game with 90 seconds left in that third quarter. It was 98-94, and from that point on, it was all San Antonio. I thought the Spurs' physicality went up to another level from that 90 seconds on, from the end of the third into the fourth. And that's something that this Spurs team has done well all season long. And we know San Antonio, that they are a better team. But it is disappointing to see how this game really went. And I think that's something that we should talk about, because the last time that we watched this San Antonio team play, even the Sacramento Kings, just their identity as a team in this league is to play super physical, set the tone, and you see what the refs are going to call. And I think the Spurs do, they play such a disciplined, physically tough brand of basketball throughout the 48 minutes of a basketball game. And like there's like and there's times like where you check hands, like even though the final score does indicate it, but this game was closer than the final score indicated. But let's get back to that second quarter. Like the Kings trail going into halftime, 73-65, going into half. Keegan and DeRozan each had 14 points. After that first half of basketball, Malik Monk had 12 off the Kings bench. Max had his 10th double-double of the season. He's now tied for first among rookies. Absolutely incredible. It was nice to see him going up against his fellow Frenchman and Victor Wembanyama tonight in this game. Again, going into the final 12 minutes, this was a 4-point game with 90 seconds left in the third. And just like that, it was all San Antonio. Kings trailed 105-94 going into the final 12 minutes of this game. Keegan, 20 points, leading the team. DeRozan, Max, and Malik each had 16 points to close the first three quarters. And the Kings, the franchise record for most losses in a row, continues to grow. It is now 16 and counting. And they are now 3-26 on the road this season. The Sacramento Kings have not won a road game since December 6th. And I believe that game was in Miami when they won. So we're talking about what? Almost close to 3 months without winning a game on the road. And the best chance could be Monday to probably snap this losing streak. But in his second game back from injury, Keegan Murray looked for a shot early in this game. He got to the free throw line, and every game from here on out to the end of the season is an opportunity for Keegan Murray to show that he can be the top option for this Sacramento team, that he can be maybe that number one guy going forward for this team. And tonight, Keegan finished 20 points, 2 rebounds, 2 blocks. And I thought his defense, again, was really good in this game by Keegan Murray. DeRozan, just a savvy old veteran out there. He helped slow the game down and get the Kings back in it when they got down big early in that first quarter, and when the Kings rallied in that first. And the Kings, they need DeRozan to be that run stopper. And he had some moments in this game. He finished with 20 points. He was 5 for 13 from the field in this one. He was also perfect from the free throw line in this game. The rookie, Maxime Raynaud, got his 32nd start of the season. Just keep playing and play well from the rookie. And he had the first couple shots for Sacramento in this game, erased by his fellow Frenchman, Victor Wembanyama, in this game. The rookie didn't stop fighting, and he ended up with a really solid 16 point, 12 rebound, 3 assists, and 1 block performance in this game. Really nice job by Max tonight in this game, and he made the adjustments as the game went on really nice to see this kid growing up right in front of our eyes. Malik Monk came off the bench in this first quarter, and when things were kind of looking bad to start the game, Monk instantly started cooking against his former teammate Fox on his way to a 19-point, 6-assist ball game. And Precious Achiuwa, make them feel you. And the goal tonight was to be physical with the San Antonio Spurs. And Precious got the message and the memo. And I thought he was tough down in the post. And I thought he did a nice, decent job boxing out Wemby so his other teammates could rebound. And Precious tonight, 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. The other rookie, Nique Clifford, let him run the team tonight. And it was not Devin. It was actually Clifford who ran the team and played that backup point guard minutes role tonight against San Antonio. And even though Nique is still learning and he needs more reps, and the more reps that he gets now until the end of this season, the better. And Clifford tonight, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals. The time is right now to give Nique Clifford a longer look at running this team as the backup point guard. Let's see what he can do as the facilitator in that role. I like Devin Carter, but I think he's gonna be a fine player, but just not on the Sacramento Kings. And I want to see what Nique looks like running this team as the backup point guard going forward for the Kings as we look towards this summer and next season. So even though this is your 16th straight loss tonight, I thought the Kings were competitive. And that's all we ask for as fans, is be competitive out there until it was the end of that third, going into the fourth, is when San Antonio really ramped it up in this game. The other thing from tonight's game, rebounding. This San Antonio Spurs team is such a good offensive rebounding team. They crash the glass really well. They have some great athletes everywhere, even at the guard positions. 26 second chance points tonight for San Antonio. And yes, that is an absolutely brutal number on the box score tonight. And then they score 24 points off the Kings' 12 turnovers. So they pretty much score every time you turn the ball over. And those are just backbreaking as a team. And you can't beat a good team. Like, I think San Antonio, let me rephrase that. You can't beat a great team like San Antonio or be in a game against a great team if you're not ending your possessions with a bucket. Because the right way, and unfortunately for the Kings, in that second half of this game tonight. So, and that happened a lot. And San Antonio, they dominated the points in the paint too in that second half. 40-20 points in the paint in favor of San Antonio. That is the number one thing that I wanted to get across in this post game, that they in this post game recap. And they also finished the game 74 points of the paint to the Kings, 40. So, and even though the Kings offense scored 122, like, they weren't even hitting 94 points in the last 3 games. So that's some improvement from this Kings offense from the last 3 games. So Kings fall to San Antonio to begin this 5-game road trip. Up next, they face the Memphis Grizzlies on Monday. In my opinion, the best chance to maybe end this losing streak, because you don't want to be losing every single game from here on out, because that is awful for you, the mental state of this team. You want to win some games here and try to set some sort of culture, because the last thing you want to do is set that losing mentality. You want to win some of these games here down the stretch to just feel good for the psyche. So, and I do believe that Monday is the best chance to probably end this losing streak, because if they don't win Monday, I think this losing streak will get to 20 games. So that will do it for this post-game recap of the Kings' loss to the Spurs in Austin, Texas. And if you enjoy this podcast, make sure you give us a follow over on Apple Podcasts or whatever your favorite podcast app is. We are a video podcast on Spotify and on YouTube, so by all means, please catch the video feed, and don't forget, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. But until next time, thank you as always for joining me on the Kings related podcast and this post game recap. We will see you Monday night following the Kings and the Memphis Grizzlies for another post game recap. And as always, go Kings.